Hello, Missions Board. My name is Whitney Bell, and my parents are John and Dwayne Sims, grandparents Benny and Rosa Sims. So if you don't know me, you probably know them. I work for a college ministry called Campus Outreach, and I just wanted to tell you guys a little bit about what Campus Outreach does, what they are, who we are, and what God has been doing in the past 3.5 years to 4 years, and what we plan and are praying that God will do in the future. And so Campus Outreach is, like I said, a college ministry. I work at South Alabama in Mobile. And why college students? Why do we target college students? I'm sure that you know when a student leaves the home and goes to college is the first time that they're out of the nest, we like to say. And I feel like every time I walk on campus, I see a bunch of blank slates. They come from all over the world. They don't have friends usually. They aren't a part of anything yet. And they know that they are on a track to determine the rest of their life. The course of the rest of their life could change in those 4 years. It's the most malleable time in a person's life whenever they have left the nest. And so we really do believe Christians and non-Christians come to college really wanting to find something, find themselves, find purpose, value, worth, and there's so many options in college where you can try to find all of that. And we know as believers that you can only find that in Jesus Christ. And so that is why we come to the college campus, is because I'm sure you've known somebody that has gone to college, they lost their way, or they lost the faith, they stopped going to church or whatever. It's because they don't have mom and dad waking them up anymore. They don't have people around them who know that their what their reputation is. They can literally come to college and be whatever they want to be. And so we come and insert the gospel. And there's people from Chicago, Kansas. I have 4 girls from all those places, and a lot of them have never even heard the gospel ever in their life. And so they're coming to college super open to the gospel. And people that grew up in church who maybe didn't really have a relationship with God, they just did all of the motions because they knew that they should, and that's what you do in the Bible Belt. They come to college really seeing that their faith isn't real, and they get to hear the gospel in a new way outside of what they've grown up being told to believe, and they actually start a relationship with God when God calls them to himself. And so just constantly putting the gospel into people's faces is my full-time job. And from a population of like 15,000 students, you can see how much my job entails trying to get the gospel to as many people as possible. And so it really is a full-time job. So what does my job look like on a day-to-day basis? So I target the sororities on campus, which people join a sorority for friends. They join the sorority for an experience, for parties, to be a part of a sisterhood. It's pretty fake from what I've seen. And girls are literally looking to be a part of something and to be someone. If you're in a sorority on campus, you have this title or identity, and you can always fall back on that. And so I come into the sororities trying to tear down a lot of that, to try to help them see that their identity can be found in Christ if they put their faith and trust in him. And so I spent a lot of time in the sorority houses. I spent a lot of time in the dorms, in the cafeteria, in the student center, wherever students are. I spend most of my time trying to get around them, trying to hang out with them, and then bringing older students have come to faith in the past or in college, and teaching them what it looks like to befriend a person in their sorority or just somebody on campus that doesn't know God. And I teach them and model for them so that they can do it also. And so our model with discipleship is 2 Timothy 2:2, when Paul says, like, take all of this, Timothy, that I've taught to you and entrust it into faithful men who can teach others also. So he's talking about 3 different generations. Obviously, it's a great method because the gospel made it to us, 2,000 something years later. And so, so we like to use that model. We don't want to just make a bunch of baby Christians. We want to teach them all that God has commanded them, talking about the Great Commission, disciple them up in the faith, teach them really what it looks like to walk with God. When I say get in the Word or read the Bible, a lot of times they don't know what that even means. And so teaching them how to get in the Word daily, how to pray, how to get the gospel to their heart, how to rest in their identity and not what the world throws at them, and then finally how to share their faith with others and disciple others. So it's not just my job. Now I have about probably 12 to 15 women helping me labor on the campus, and I kind of manage and help them as they go, as they're sharing their faith. And so a little bit of what God's done in the last 3.5 years, I've counted around 24 women that have come to Christ in college. And that comes from all different backgrounds, from people that grew up in church, didn't really have a relationship with God, just kind of did what their friends were doing, and came to college expecting it all to be the same, and it wasn't. And when the world and temptations got in their face, they really just fell into a lot of sin and realized that their faith wasn't real. From people who have never heard the gospel before, who put the fact that baby Jesus that they hear about at Christmas and Jesus who died on the cross, the cross they see, are the same person. That's how far removed some of the students I encounter are. And just seeing them come from death to life has literally blown my mind. And getting to watch them now being established, they're babies, they're messy, they fall a lot, they hurt people. It's just incredibly messy. And then getting to watch them mature in their faith and then get to a space where they're able to reach out and to share their faith and to disciple others. And it makes it just so beautiful, just the fact that Jesus comes to us and we are getting to go out and reach other people. And so that's what Campus Outreach is in a whole. I hope that I have kind of summed it up in a short video of what we do, but I'm just so excited for what God's going to do in the future. We have I have personally around 45 students that I'm responsible for spiritually, that I'm thinking for, and in that, thinking about more people that we're sharing our faith with. And so I have a lot of weight to carry, but I know that I'm not the one who's carrying the load. The Lord is the one who is determining my steps and who is growing these people and changing their hearts and their lives and bringing them from death to life. And I'm just thankful that people like you are sending me out to do this full time. I'm just thinking about all I have to do every single week. There's no way I could get even a part-time job in order to support the needs of our family, because of all the stuff that we have to do day in and day out to really use all of our resources and time and energy to get the gospel to people. And so I'm just thankful that you're partnering with me and sending me out to the lost world for God's kingdom and His glory. And we really do believe that that's God's heart, is for all nations, tribes, and tongues to know Him. And Campus Outreach is just a stepping stone to do that, as we send out college students who are only here for 4 years into the world, either overseas or in the workplace. It's such a broken and dark place in today's society. But I love you guys. Let me know if you have any other questions. I plan to send a video maybe once every quarter, a short video, maybe a minute or two long, to share in a church service. This is something that I'm going to try to implement at the churches that support me. Please let me know if that's something that y'all are interested in, just to keep you guys connected. People that don't read emails and things like that, I feel like it's a good way to keep you connected about what God's doing here. Thanks, guys.